What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Brendan. I'm BT22 and today we're coming at you with another video. We have our next deck profile for the Digimon TCG in the BT22 format. We took a little break there. We were on vacation, so we had the first 4 videos go up while we were on vacation, and then we kind of slowed down because I had to figure out the last 2 decks of the format. Now, these are not specifically BT22 decks. They're, the first 4 we did very much were BT22 decks that gain support in BT22. These 2 decks are just basically some of my favorite meta calls that did not get support in the format. Of course, this is our green deck. This is our Vortex Warriors deck, our Digimon deck. And I love the Liberator stuff, and it's always been really, really fun. So I thought, there wasn't anything green in BT22 that really caught my eye. Some of the CS trait stuff, we did had green cards in it, but I classified that as my black deck. But yeah, so this is our green deck for the format. Still a really good meta call. This deck can top some of the time. It does have the potential. It just depends how much interaction you have with your opponent. This deck really requires and relies on you interacting with your opponent. But we'll get into it. We'll talk about the deck, why we like it, why we chose to do that as our green deck, and what exactly we did with this build. And hey, if you enjoy this type of content, be sure to smash that like button, comment down below. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Subscribe to the channel and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss a single minute of the fun. Well, we're starting off with our Kokomon egg. Your turn once per turn. When effect suspends one of your Digimon, draw 1. You do suspend your Digimon a lot with different abilities and keywords like alliance. And then we play 1 Gummymon, which is when you suspend your opponent's Digimon once per turn, you draw 1. So really, really good cards. You can control, suspending your stuff a lot more. So that's why the Kokomon gets played over. And we play 5 eggs because we do play Ukomons. So it does help you get through that stuff a lot faster. Getting into the level 3s, we play 4 copies of the Searcher Terramon from ST18. Plus 2,000, your turn inheritable. On play, reveal top 3, add 1 card with Avian or Bird in any of its traits, and 1 card with Vortex Warriors or Liberator, trade among them, and then return the rest to the bottom of the deck. Really great card. You almost always get 2 hits with this card, unless you get a whole bunch of options and stuff like that, because mostly everything in your deck is Bird, Beast, Liberator, and Vortex Warrior. So really, really good card. You got to play 4 of it. Gets you your pieces really, really fast. We play 3 copies of the Terramon from EX7. It's got a alterns inheritable. When this Digimon deletes your opponent's Digimon in battle, gain 1 memory, which is cool because if your opponent attacks you and you block, you still get that ability. That's why it's alterns. And then your turn ability, its main ability, when this Digimon would Digivolve into a Digimon card with Avian or Bird in any of its traits, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. So that's really, really good because it gets you those 1-cost Digivolutions for your level 4s, makes things a lot cheaper. 2 copies of Palmon. It's not a Avian or Bird or any of the other traits we want, but it's start of main phase. One of your opponent's Digimon gains alterns. When this Digimon becomes suspended, lose 2 memory until the end of their turn. Is so good, especially with all the suspension effects you do have. You can basically just peel back memory from your opponent. And then it's got a inheritable. When this Digimon would Digivolve, if you have a green tamer, reduce the Digivolution cost by 1. So going up into your, basically it pays for itself, because if you go into level 4 for 2, and then you potentially suspend, or then you Digivolve into level 5 that suspends something on your opponent's side of the board, you get 2 memory back, and you get the 1 memory for the Digivolution cost as long as you have that green tamer in play. So opening can be really good at getting up your line really, really fast. Lastly, we play 2 Ukomon. Searching is really important in this deck, getting your pieces. So being able to open up an Uko and then, search and then restand and start building your stack from there can be really, really good. So that's why I play 2 of that. That's it. 11 level 3s. Seems a little bit low, but, the deck space is definitely tight in this deck. For level 4s, we're playing 4 copies of the promo Galemon. The newest promo Galemon gets plus 2,000, your turn inheritable. On play, when Digivolving, you may suspend 1 Digimon. Then, if it's your turn, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon card with the Avian or Bird and any of its traits in the hand. And then for every other suspended Digimon, reduce the affect's Digivolution cost by 1. So, yeah. So, just free getting Digivolving up into your level 5 and reducing the cost, which is really, really good. 2 copies of the EX7 Galemon, which has the same inheritable as the EX7 Terramon, which is the all turns when this Digimon deletes your opponent's Digimon by battle. Gain 1 memory, and then it has a when Digivolving. If you have 1 or fewer tamers, you can play free Shoto from your hand without paying the cost. We also play 2 copies of the other promo Galemon. The older one has, again, plus 2,000 inheritable on your turn. When Digivolving, by suspending 1 Digimon, this Digimon gets 2,000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn, and then your turn, while you have a Shoto Kazuma, this Digimon gains Piercing. So free Piercing, sometimes not necessary because this deck has Piercing, but that's it. Not a lot, just the 8 level 4s. Again, deck space is tight. We search a lot so we can get to all our pieces. For level 5s, we're playing 4 of the Grand Galemon from EX7. It has a your turn inheritable once per turn. When this Digimon attacks your opponent's Digimon, this Digimon may unsuspend. So you don't have to delete it, you just have to attack it, and then you can unsuspend. It's got Vortex, which is the main keyword for the Vortex Warriors. At the end of your turn, this Digimon may attack an opponent's Digimon. With this effect, it can attack even if it was the turn it was played, but you have to attack an opponent's Digimon. You can't attack an opponent. When Digivolving, you may suspend 1 Digimon. If this effect suspended your Digimon, this Digimon isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon until their turn ends. So, got pretty good protection, which is why we play 4 of it. Protection is really important, keeping your guy on the board. I would play 1 copy of the ST18 Grand Galemon. Has the same inheritable as the other Grand Galemon. It's on play when Digivolving effect is suspend 1 Digimon. If this effect suspended your Digimon, you may play 1 Digimon card with the Avian or Bird in any of its traits and 3,000 DP or less from your hand without paying the cost. This is good because it gets more bodies on board for you to suspend for abilities, and it potentially also gets you stuff for Alliance, which is really, really good. And then lastly, we play 2 copies of Rapidmon from ST17. It's got the all turns your once per turn inheritable. When this Digimon deletes an opponent's Digimon in battle, trash the top security card. And then it Digivolves for 4 in this deck, unfortunately. But it's on play when Digivolving is really good. It's got de-Digivolve 1 of your opponent's Digimon. Then if you have a green tamer until the end of your opponent's turn, any of your opponent's effects can't delete this Digimon or return it to the hand or deck. So super good protection. Kind of locks out a lot of forms of removal, except for de-Digivolve, because de-Digivolve is so good, or basically DP reduction. Really good card. De-Digivolve 1 is really de-Digivolve is such a good ability, so having it is really nice. And its all turns is also really good. So it makes a really good green level 5. The protection is really, really good. So we like it for that. And that's it for level 5. So 7 of them. We go on to our level 6s here. Starting with our level 6s, we're starting out with Medieval Galemon at 3. This card is just such a great boss monster. It's got Alliance and Vortex. And when this card would be played by suspending 2 Digimon, reduce the play cost by 4, so you can play it for 7. When Digivolving, you may suspend 1 Digimon, then you may delete one of your opponent's 8,000 DP or lower Digimon. For each other suspended Digimon, add up to 3,000 DP to this DP deletion's effect maximum. So, even if you Digivolve for 3 on him, you can suspend something to up this to an 11k DP deletion ability, plus whatever you have else you have for suspended Digimon on the board. And then all turns once per turn. When Digimon are played, you may activate one of this Digimon's when Digivolving effects. So that's really good as well. Because you get to use his ability multiple times. You get to use it on your opponent's turn. Like, you can use this twice on the turn he was summoned. So if you attack afterwards with Vortex and you get Piercing from an ability or something like that, you can, and your opponent plays a Digimon off an effect, you can basically use his ability again, and then you can, when it passes to your opponent's turn, you can use it on their turn as well, to basically, if they play stuff. So, it's really good if your opponent doesn't have something already that they started building back in Raising. It can be really, really good. 2 copies of Zephigamon from EX7. This guy's a really skillful card to play. It costs 4 to Digivolve. Security attack +1 and Vortex. When Digivolving, when attacking, suspend 1 Digimon. If this effect suspended your Digimon, return 1 of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. And this is a mandatory ability, just says suspend one Digimon. So unfortunately, it feels like you have to suspend, you know, your so you got an order of effects. Like if you have an ability that unsuspends, like the Grand Gammon, you're gonna wait to basically, if you have nothing else to suspend, you're gonna wait. Basically you're gonna try and suspend with that ability and have it fizzle before. But you gotta watch out because this deck wants you to attack an opponent's Digimon, so you necessarily don't want to put your opponent's Digimon on the bottom of the deck if you want to attack over it, unless of course you're worried about an ace card. So lastly, for level 6s, we play Zephycomon Ace, which can Digivolve for 1 on a play cost 10 or higher Vortex Warrior. So he Digivolves for 1 on both of these guys, or he can Digivolve for 5 on a level 5. Plus he's got the Blast Digivolution keyword. He's got Piercing, Vortex, Blocker. All turns when any Digimon suspend, this Digimon unsuspends once per turn. And then on play, when Digivolving, you may suspend 1 Digimon. Then for every suspended Digimon, you may return 1 of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. So yeah, so putting stuff on the bottom deck is always good, and he's got Overflow 4. Plus just the ability Ace is always really good. Lastly, our last card is 1 level 7 card. We've got Chaosmon Volderarm, which has got Security, Attack +1. It's got Partition, but you're never going to use it. Because I think you got to play out both. You got to play out both copies with Partition when this Digimon with each of the specified Digivolution cards. Well, yeah, so Partition is not going to go off for you because you're not going to be DNA Digivolving, but you can Digivolve for a cost of 5 into him and get his when Digivolving for each of this Digimon's level 6 Digivolution cards. Suspend 1 of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers and gain 1 memory. So you're only gonna get. Well, I mean, you could get 2 because if you had Zephycomon Ace over top of 1 of your other level 6s, you could get 2. So that's good. And yeah, and then I don't think you have. Yeah. So you still can't use Partition because you don't have any yellows. If you had a yellow, but yeah, so you can't use Partition even if you have a double stacked Vortex Warrior on there. But yeah, so you gain a memory and suspend something that they have. Then none of their Digimon or Tamers can activate on-play effects or unsuspend until the end of their turn. So just stuns, really good stun card, especially if you're close to the end of the game and you want to put pressure on and basically stop them from being able to do stuff. You can go into this for 5, and you can potentially reduce that Digivolution cost depending on what you have in your stack and what other cards you have on the field, because there's a lot of ways to just reduce costs in this deck. So that's it for your Digimon. We also have our Tamers here. Play 3 of the busted Shoto that used to make Mother stupid card until they limited the pair. 3 of him. Start your main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain a memory. End of your turn by suspending this Tamer. 1 of your Digimon gains Piercing and Blocker until the end of your opponent's turn, and has the Vortex. If it has a Vortex Warriors trait, it unsuspends. So really, really good. Giving that reboot at the end of your turn, and then you can basically attack with Vortex with Piercing. And then Shoto Kazuma, the ST18, he's your memory tamer, and then he also has the your turn when any of your Digimon attack your opponent's Digimon. By suspending this tamer, you may change the attack target to another of your opponent's Digimon or a player. So that can be really good because you can redirect into your opponent for game potentially if you don't want to attack their Digimon. So that's really, really good. And that's it for the Tamers. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of room for Tamers, but these are the best ones. We play a lot of options. We play 2 green memory boost, 3 agility training, and 2 green scrambles because we want to see our pieces, and we also want to get up our Digivolution line for really cheap, and this is what helps us do that. Being able to have extra memory, have reduced Digivolution costs is really, really important. I mean, this card's really good. It makes all your level 5s a 2-cost Digivolution, and it makes all your level 6s either a 3 or a 2-cost Digivolution as well. Plus, if you have other cards like the Palmon, that reduces it even further. And lastly, we play 3 copies of Tropical Venom. Main, when your opponent's Digimon gains on deletion, lose 2 memory until the end of their turn. So basically, your opponent has something on board. This deck thrives around waiting for your opponent to put stuff on board that they can basically use to gain abilities. So if it does, this is a really good card because end of turn attack, kill their Digimon, and then get 2 memory off of it is super good. It's free to play, so it's just a really good card. So we like the Tropical Venom in here at 3 because we want to use it. We want to use it so we can maintain turn and get multiple checks. So that is the deck, guys. Tell me what you guys think. That is our Vortex Warriors deck. I think this deck has a very good, lot of good abilities. It is meta relevant. It does top from time to time. I think it's a very skillful deck. I think any green deck is a skillful deck because it requires you to interact with your opponent, which a lot of decks don't require you to interact. Green's always really hard because it wants you to interact with your opponent's board. And if your opponent doesn't have to put anything on board, which has been a common theme in the game lately, is just basically clearing your own board by the end of your turn so your opponent can't do anything off the stuff you leave there, and then just starting a new stack or holding in the stack in the back until you can come up and just OTK. So definitely is, hard to play against decks that really don't let you interact. So we like this deck because it does have that same issue that green decks have, but it can kind of work around it sometimes and just do as well as it can do. And so tell me what you guys think about the deck. Do you think the build is good? What do you think about the Ukomons? What do you think about the Tropical Venoms? How do you feel about this deck as in the BT22 format? Does it have legs or not? And I think this deck could even get better as we get more Liberator content. So let me know your thoughts about that down below. Looks like that's all the time we have for this video. Thank you very much for tuning in, and we hope to see you in the next video. As always, have a wonderful day. And that's all for now, folks.